be me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the 2018 NFL playoffs here on the Louie T Network. Wall-to-wall coverage of the National Football League's 2018 playoffs here on the Louie T Network. Of course, I'm your set man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me on the program as we preview and predict the outcome of the first game on Sunday in Divisional Round weekend. Jacksonville Jaguars, your third seed in the AFC playoffs, taking on the number 2 seeded Pittsburgh Steelers coming off of a bye week. A lot of questions surrounding this Steelers football team as they enter the playoff realm coming off of the bye against a Jaguars team that has already handled them in this exact same environment at Heinz Field earlier in the season in Week 5, dismantling the Pittsburgh Steelers and making Ben Roethlisberger think twice about playing this season. At one point, having Roethlisberger say that maybe he is in fact done after a few Jaguars players said he seemed defeated and was finished. And so, lot to get to in this game. I got a feeling that this is going to be a little bit different. And the last time these two teams met, which was this season, which makes it somewhat pertinent, means that the Jaguars, the fact that they were able to not only go in there and win, but destroy the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field, means they're not afraid to go in there into the Lions' den and try to come out with the victory. But as a wise man once told me, okay, fear and being afraid isn't a requirement to get your ass beat. And so just because they're not afraid doesn't mean that the Jaguars aren't walking in to a trap in Pittsburgh on Sunday in Divisional Round weekend. But nonetheless, let's jump into this breakdown, and we start with the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off of the bye week, looking to try to get to the AFC Championship, where most likely the New England Patriots will be awaiting the winner of this game. And for the Steelers, first question that's going to be on the minds of everyone, is Antonio Brown healthy enough to go? Now, in this particular game, it may not make that much of a difference because on each side of the field, he's going up against a stud. Second-year man Jalen Ramsey has been given the honor of, or has earned, he didn't get and wasn't given anything. He earned all-pro, first-team All-Pro this year with his play. He's been exceptional. And the guy across from him in A.J. Boye has been just as good in my estimation. And so it's going to be tough for them to throw the football in this game anyhow with the way that the Jags play. And even in the slot, they've got Colvin, who plays an outstanding brand of football. 2 of the 3 corners for the Jags coming away with a pick last week in their 10-3 victory over Buffalo. So it's going to be tough. Roethlisberger threw 5 picks the last time these two teams met. Yes, 5, a career high 5 interceptions thrown by Ben Roethlisberger in that game. So I don't know if AB's health is going to be as big as it would be, say, next week if they were to get there. But nonetheless, everyone still wants to know, is this guy healthy, ready to go? Because a healthy Antonio Brown, if at least nothing else, is one hell of a decoy to have on the field at all times. And if he's on the field, most likely Ben is going to try to get him the football. Nonetheless, the Jaguars are one of the most ferocious defenses in the league. That's no secret. They showed it again last week by getting to Tyrod Taylor, knocking him from the football game in the latter stages, and then subsequently picking off Nathan Peterman to preserve the victory. However, you can run the football. Shady McCoy, basically on one leg last week, was able to amass right around 75 yards on not a ton of touches, had a nice, healthy yards per tote average. And that's been the one thing that you can do to Jacksonville. The thing has been, though, they've done such a good job at stopping teams early in ball games and allowing the offense and in some certain cases their offense and their special teams, or excuse me, their defense and their special teams have jumped into the scoring fray, helped out the offense. And even when they're not there, the defense is creating turnovers and shorter fields, which allows them to get on top of their opponent and force them to take the air, where the Jacksonville Jaguars were second in the league in sacks on the season. So the run game isn't something that is their strongest suit in Jacksonville. So if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, your first objective in this game should be to try to run the football, establish the run, because they've got one of the best pass defense in the league for a reason. They can get after your quarterback, but even if you have enough time to throw it, their secondary is lights out. So why put yourself through that hell when you can just pound these guys into oblivion? Not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do, but they've got some light defensive ends, guys that you can run at. If you can stay away from Malik Jackson, who is a Pro Bowler this year and playing at a very high level, back to his Denver form, and Calais Campbell, who was also an All-Pro this year. If you can stay away from those two guys in the middle and run at Ngakoue and run at Dante Fowler Jr., two guys who are a little bit lighter, you may be able to have some success. Set that edge in the run game, physically get to the edge and make some things happen with Le'Veon Bell. I think you can exploit them on the ground. You're going to have to play much better. Obviously, I don't have to explain to you that you can't play the same way you played last time. And to me, these teams are vastly different than what they were in Week 5 when these two teams met the first time. The Steelers at the time were still kind of hitting their stride. Remember, we kept saying, at least I did. I can't speak for anybody else. I kept saying, when are the Steelers going to have one of those offensive outbursts? When are they going to hit their stride? They hadn't hit it. Even though they were 3-1 at the time of that game, they hadn't hit their stride yet. And that was their worst game of the season by far and away. And the Jaguars were still trying to figure out who they were. They were still trying to establish an identity. They were still not only trying to convince the rest of the NFL world, but themselves that, no, we're actually good. Like, this isn't a mirage or some type of facade that we're putting up. We're actually good this year, and we're going to prove it by going to Pittsburgh and winning. But these two teams are in totally different states. At that point of the season, Leonard Fournette was a man possessed. He hasn't had one of those types of games. Remember, he had a 91-yard touchdown run to put the icing on the cake in that game. Rushed for damn near 200 yards in the game versus the Steelers. It's not that hard to do when you've got a damn near 100-yard run in the game. But again, he was running at a high clip at that point. Hasn't had one of those games. Did have a 100-yard rushing game, I want to say, 3 weeks ago. But hasn't had one of those games necessarily in quite some time. Blake Bortles did not look sharp last week. They did say it was windy in Jacksonville. No excuses. He couldn't even hit checkdowns accurately last week, but he did use his legs. But that's nor here nor there. Bottom line is, it's a different Jaguars team now, and this is the postseason. It's not the regular season. There's a lot more pressure on this Jaguars football team than it was in Week 5 of the regular season. The Steelers knew they would be here. They knew they would be. Barring any catastrophic injuries, they knew they would be in this position. The Jaguars did not expect to be where they are now in Week 5 of the season. So this is a different game in the postseason, and the level and the stakes have been heightened, and I expect the Steelers to raise their game to the level that is going to be necessary for them to get it done on the offensive side of the football. Last week, I saw the Bills do some things with their tight ends that gave them an advantage, and I think the Steelers can use the tight ends in this game to get some yards. If they can find a way to get the back out of the backfield, I think you can use the backs. Now, look, they've got athletic linebackers in Jacksonville, but Shady McCoy did have some space, was able to catch a screen and make something happen. I thought the Bills, had they executed better, could have had some yards in the screen game. Also, I believe that you can throw the football to the back out of the backfield. And again, all of this is predicating on Le'Veon Bell making plays. I think he's going to be the key to this game for the Steelers on offense. Le'Veon Bell may need to have over 200 yards total offense, about $120 on the ground and another 85 receiving if they're going to get this win and get it convincingly. Look, you could care less how it comes. You just want to get it and move on. And it may not be easy against a stingy Jaguars defense, but if you're going to win this game, to me, Le'Veon Bell, L.Bell, is going to be the key in getting it done on the offensive side of the football for this Steelers football team. As you go to the defense for the Steelers, I'm a little worried because the run defense to finish up the season was not great down the stretch. Obviously, losing a guy like Ryan Shazier changes everything defensively. And so I'm not that impressed with the run defense of the Steelers. They've got the players necessary to take care of any deficiencies. They've had a couple of weeks to clean up some of the deficiencies that they have on the defensive side of the football. They know what they have to do now because Ryan Shazier is not coming back. So hopefully they've made the proper adjustments, but I wasn't impressed with what I saw from them down the stretch in the season to finish up without Shazier in the lineup. It is good to know that Joe Hayden is going to be in the lineup for this game. He was in the lineup in the latter portion of the season, the final game or two of the season, but they're going to be ready defensively, and Blake Bortles and that anemic Jaguars offense isn't going to pose that big of a threat in the pass game unless you allow them to. They've got speed. Dede Westbrook can run. Keelan Cole can run. Jadon Mickens can run. So if you get sloppy in your coverage, they can make you pay, but for the most part, they're looking to exploit you underneath and in the run game. And if they can establish a run early, then they're going to look to go play action fake with Blake Bortles driving the football down the field. So the blueprint was given to you last week by the Bills. Take away the run game. Fournette did next to nothing on the ground for the vast majority of that football game, which forced Blake Bortles to have to take over. And that's what you want. You want Blake Bortles to feel like he needs to make plays, because when Blake Bortles feels compelled to go out and make something happen, generally he turns it over. He's been much better this season than in past seasons in taking care of the football, but still, that gene of turning a football over is still embedded in Blake Bortles. And as much as I like Blake Bortles and want to see him succeed, if you take away the run game and you force Blake Bortles to have to beat you, I think you'll have a great shot at putting the Jacksonville Jaguars out of their misery in this football game. You go to the Jaguar side of things. Look, it's simple. I don't really need to say much about Jacksonville and what it's going to take to win this game. On the defensive side of football, you've got to be lights out. Essentially, do what you did the first time you met this Pittsburgh Steelers team in Week 5 at Heinz Field. Shut down their run game, get after Ben Roethlisberger, harass him, hit him, force him off the spot, make him uncomfortable, have him see him ghost, and pick off the football. And it doesn't matter if, like they were in Week 5, deflections and caroms and all of it. It doesn't matter. Get your hands on the football. Make him have a flashback of Week 5, okay? The key to me is stopping Le'Veon Bell, because he's the one guy that can change the game for the Steelers. With A.B.'s health being up in the air and not really sure how healthy he is, the key to me is Le'Veon Bell and his ability to make plays out of the backfield, along with not giving up nothing deep. You don't want to give up anything cheap and deep in this game, because making the Steelers work for everything they get is going to force them to have to drive the length of the field against one of the best defenses in the league. And on any given play, this Jaguars defense can step up and make a play. But you limit yourself when you give them opportunities to have 3-play, 73-yard drives resulting in touchdowns. Make them go 10, 11, 12 plays if they want a touchdown, and force them to go against this vaunted defense, snap in and snap out. Going to have to stop the run, and you're going to have to take Le'Veon Bell away in the pass game if you're going to have success and give yourself a chance to win defensively. It'd be great to generate turnovers, but if you can just get off the field on third downs, that will be suffice in this game to give you an opportunity to win. You look at it from an offensive standpoint. If you're Jacksonville, you got to run the football way better than you did last week. You can't have a repeat of what you did last week, or you will not stand a chance in this game. You can't run for less than 100 yards, and you ran for over 100. Blake Bortles had 9 carries for 94 yards. That's probably not going to happen this week, but I don't anticipate the Steelers putting a spy on Blake Bortles. I just don't see that happening. So maybe he will have to use his legs. I've always been a huge, staunch supporter of Blake Bortles using his legs more. To me, he's more dangerous. He was at UCF when he uses his legs. He's got to keep that Steelers defense on a head on a swivel by running when they're in man-to-man coverage with their backs turned if he doesn't like what he sees. Bottom line is, though, he's going to have to throw the football better. There are going to come times where they're in 3rd and long, when they're going to need a throw from Blake Bortles, and he's going to have to make it. Last week, he struggled to make throws. The best throw he made in the game was a 1-yard throw for a touchdown. It was the biggest throw of the game, but it was also a 1-yard pass to Ben Koyak into the back of the end zone. He's going to have to play better. He's going to have to hit the easy completions, can't miss check downs, can't be all wild in the screen game. When opportunities down the field open up, he's got to hit them. He can't afford to miss open receivers. When they present themselves, he's got to be accurate and sharp with the football if they're going to stand any chance. Even if they run it effectively in this game, there's still going to come times in this game where it's going to come down to the right arm of Blake Bortles or maybe the legs of Blake Bortles. Either way, he's going to have to make the right decision, and when he has to throw it, he's going to have to be accurate with the football. But forget all of that for a second. If you don't run the football effectively, Blake Bortles is not going to win you this game. So you have to run the football effectively. I don't know if something was wrong with TJ Yeldon as to why he wasn't active last week or if he was in healthy scratch. But I'm telling you right now, your 3rd down backs last week, Fournette is not a pass catcher. He's not a natural. You threw it to him on the first 3rd down in the game. Ball went right through his hands. He is not a good 3rd down back. Chris Ivory is solid. He's not great. Neither one of those guys scare you as pass receivers. TJ Yeldon being healthy and active is key. That would be nice to see. We'll see what happens. But in any event, running the football is going to be big. The screen game is going to be big. I'd like to see more diversity from the play calling than we got from Jacksonville last week. Last week looked like, hey, it's the Bills. We know they can't score. We're just not trying to mess anything up. We're going to keep the offense out of the way and allow the defense to do what they do best, hold teams down, and we'll win this game. This week, you're going to have to actually score points if you want to win. 10 won't be enough. And so I'd like to see a little bit more diversity in the play calling. I saw at least 12 screens last week, to which 1, maybe 2 max actually gained you any yards. I saw way too many run plays that were dead upon arrival. Fournette's biggest run of the game came on an outside pitch. We only saw it once in the game, okay? I want to see more diversity. Everything doesn't have to be right up in between the tackles because it's Leonard Fournette. Get him out on the edge. Get him out in space. Give him an opportunity to be the battering ram back that we've seen him be all year long and throughout his collegiate career. We know the guy is capable, so give him an opportunity to do so by getting out on the edges. This defense in Pittsburgh, not as fast without Ryan Shazier on the field. You can get to the edge. You can get to the perimeter against this defense. I'd like to see them be a little bit more productive, but more creative on the offensive side of the football. And when opportunities present themselves, Blake Bortles must be better. I said all of that to say this. This is not the regular season. And the Jaguars haven't been here. With this group of players, they simply haven't been here. The defense, it doesn't matter that they haven't been here before. They're still going to perform. They're still going to give the offense a chance to win. The problem is the offense simply isn't good enough to get it done. Hence, my prediction of the Steelers getting it done. Not the prettiest of games for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they knew going into this game it was going to be tough with A.B. having the injury and trying to work him back into the swing of things. With that vaunted Jags defense, they knew it wasn't going to be an easy chore, but they're going to do enough to win this game. I don't see the Jaguars getting into the end zone, period, in this game. 3 field goals for them. Meanwhile, the Steelers only get 1 touchdown, 4 Chris Boswell field goals for them, but it's more than enough to get the win as the Steelers come away with the victory and head to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots in the game that we all predicted since like week 2 of the regular season. Patriots-Steelers. I said from about as early as you could say it, everything is a formality as long as those 2 teams stay relatively healthy. It's a formality. We know they're the 2 best teams and they're going to meet in the AFC Championship game. The only thing we didn't know was where the game was going to be played. And we knew that the game late in the season was going to determine where that game was going to end up being played. Patriots got a gift from the NFL, got the win, and so that game is going to be played in Foxborough. But we already knew the 2 participants, so this should not come as a surprise to any of you out there. Who do you think is going to win this game and why? Look, I need it. I got to have it. I need it. In the comment section, Tell me who you think is going to win this game and why. And so I need it from you guys. Give it to me. Also need you to subscribe if you haven't already done so to the Louie T Network. Plenty of great content. We're going to break down the draft. All of that good stuff coming down the pipeline. Look, man, check my record. Check my archives, man. You know what I do. So if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting on? Become a member of the Louie T Network. And also like and share the video. Thumbs up. I need it. Just like I need your comment. I need it. In any event, I'm your man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me on this preview and prediction video for Jags and Steelers. Man, Jaguars had a hell of a season, but the buck stops here in Pittsburgh. I'll see you next time. I've got another game to break down, so don't you go anywhere. Louie T Network. My man. Have a good one.